Picture Sievo, 1993, a middle-class neighborhood collapsing under siege conditions. A former banker offers silver jewelry for cigarettes and disposable lighters desperately. The silver is authentic, valuable before war, but now meaningless metal. Electricity, water, food distribution gone. Utility determines survival, not precious metals. Fire means cooking. Heat, sterilization. Preventing disease, lighters equal life. This reality documented by Selko Begovic surviving prolonged Bosnian siege. He observed silver holders starving, while skilled neighbors with tools survived. Preparedness, culture says stack silver. Physical ownership equals safety. But forensic collapse analysis proves silver ranks below practical capacity. This video examines documented collapses, not theory, ideology, or marketing. You will learn why $1,000 practical assets outperform 10,000 silver patterns repeat across Bosnia, Venezuela, Argentina, Great Depression consistently. First currency collapse accelerates faster than anyone expects historically. Bosnia shifted from money economy to barter within months. Early attempts using cash failed as prices multiplied exponentially. Cigarettes costing 1 mark outside sold 40 marks inside siege Venezuela. 2016 inflation exceeded 1 million%. Bolivar became worthless, nicknamed Muerto, dead. Currency by citizens. Government removed high denomination bills allowing 72 hours exchange. Savings instantly criminalized, illustrating speed of monetary death. Argentina late 90s collapse shrank economy 28%. Half population fell below poverty, losing peso denominated savings. Same stages appear everywhere: disbelief, acceleration, hyperinflation, barter. When money fails, societies revert to utility-based exchange. Venezuela fishermen trade fish for rice, bananas, plantains directly. Money buys nothing. Food becomes medium of exchange. Farmers walk hundreds kilometers carrying produce to barter essentials. Coffee beans accepted at hardware stores as standardized consumable currency. 3 sacks coffee equal gasoline, demonstrating functional value. This reversion mirrors pre-industrial economies during systemic collapse. Silver cannot be eaten, burned, medicated, or purify water. Utility skills determine survival. Grow, repair, heal, preserve. Great Depression proves land skills outperform financial assets. Farmers with productive land. Fed families despite price collapses. Urban workers lost wages, lacking productive capacity. Starved, rural families gardened, canned milked, baked sewed, survived, zero cash income, yet food security maintained. Victory Gardens produced 40%. American vegetables, wartime economic necessity, not patriotism, drove mass food production. Farmland mathematically yields crops, income, shelter, regardless markets. 2008. Farmland rose, stocks collapsed drastically. Farmland volatility lower than stocks or silver historically. Skills became survival capital during Depression era. Hardships, people sold fish baskets, quilts, repairs, services, food. Each activity created tangible value meeting human needs. Doctors, nurses remained employed via barter when cash failed. A carpenter's skill produces value endlessly, unlike stored silver. Silver sits inert, producing nothing during crisis. Selko identified items actually trading during total collapse. Ammunition, hygiene, medicine ranked highest, but security risks applied. Bleach, soap, toothpaste, feminine products commanded extraordinary value. Medicine. Scarcity killed many lacking antibiotics. Pain relief. Selko preferred thousands lighters over loud fuel generators. Generators attract theft, require fuel maintenance. Noise. Lighters. Silent, portable, refillable. distributed low risk. Fire enables heat cooking. Light sterilization, universally needed. Silver jewelry traded for soup during sieges. Precious metals regain value. Only after stability returns. Venezuela today confirms collapse dynamics in real time. Families grow food specifically for barter survival. Formal employment becomes pointless when currency worthless. Zimbabwe saw antibiotics priced weeks' wages. Black markets a bottle. Medicine outweighs pound silver. Survival stakes. Community networks determine survival probability statistically proven. Strong relationships increase survival 50%. Meta-analysis. Trust enables private barter security cooperation during collapse. Amish communities exemplify diversified resilience without the silver reliant. Community networks become decisive survival infrastructure. When formal institutions fail completely during systemic collapse, Selco repeatedly emphasized pre-war relationships determined access, safety information, trade, opportunities reliably. Barter rarely occurs openly because visibility invites theft, violence, retaliation, exploitation rapidly. Exchanges move underground, relying on reputation, trust, discretion, shared history between participants. Trust functions as currency settlement layer, replacing contracts, banks, enforcement, mechanisms entirely. Those lacking trusted connections face exclusion, starvation, heightened predation, risks consistently. Empirical research confirms social bonds directly increase survival probability. During crises, large meta-analyses show 50% survival advantage from strong relationships alone. This effect rivals quitting smoking, exceeding many traditional health risk factors measured. Collapse transforms social capital into literal life, preserving resource under scarcity conditions. Communities coordinate. Defense. Information. Sharing labor. Pooling. Conflict resolution. Informally. Isolated households lack redundancy protection. Intelligence. Collective deterrence against threats. Bosnian neighborhoods organized watches. Resource-sharing mutual aid under trusted leadership. Venezuelan communities formed informal food distribution barter. Webs sustaining households. Churches, cooperatives, neighborhood groups provide scaffolding for coordination, trust, accountability. These structures substitute for absent state services, policing, welfare, health care effectively. Community cohesion reduces transaction costs, risk premiums during barter exchanges. Known partners require less security, less verification, lower violence, probability. Prepared households embedded socially outperform better, supplied isolated households repeatedly. The Amish Hedge draws directly from these documented community survival patterns. It prioritizes resilience through interdependence, not self-sufficient isolation fantasies. Productive land remains core pillar across all documented collapses. Historically, land produces calories, fiber, fuel, shelter, materials independent of markets. Even marginal plots provide meaningful supplementation during shortages. Inflation, rooftops, balconies, yards become productive when necessity forces innovation, adaptation. Gardening skills convert inputs, sunlight, soil, water, seeds into food. These skills transfer across geographies, climates, scaling with available land. Animal husbandry multiplies productivity, converting waste forage into protein fertilizer. Chickens, rabbits, goats provide quiet, efficient nutrition without complex infrastructure. Food preservation knowledge stabilizes supply across seasons. Scarcity disruptions. Canning, drying, fermenting, smoking transform surplus into durable, tradable calories. Preserved food reduces desperation, enabling better trade terms, security choices. Tools amplify labor independence from electricity. Fuel supply chains. Hand tools remain functional, repairable, quiet, low signature under stress. Mechanical skills maintain pumps, stoves, bicycles, generators, extending lifespan significantly. Repair capability substitutes for capital expenditures, unavailable during collapse. Medical competence ranks highest value across collapses, due scarcity necessity, basic nursing infection control, wound care, prevent deaths routinely, stockpiled medicines, antibiotics, antiseptics, analgesics, become life-saving trade assets, healthcare workers maintained status, compensation through barter during depression eras. However, discretion paramount, visibility invites targeting, extortion, violence. Hygiene supplies, prevent disease, preserving labor capacity, morale, community stability, bleach, soap, water purification deliver, disproportionate survival benefit per cost, energy solutions, favor redundancy, stealth simplicity over power output. Generators attract attention, noise, fuel, demands maintenance complexity, theft risk. Distributed low-cost items like lighters, candles, outperform generators. Practically fire enables cooking heat, sterilization, light universally required functions. Selco demonstrated thousands lighters superior to singular complex devices. Silver and gold fail immediate survival utility tests repeatedly. Metals provide no calories. Heat medicine, sanitation shelter. Directly, their value depends on counterparties' belief system stability absent initially. Early collapse phases punish holders of inert assets lacking production. Survival hinges on meeting physiological needs before financial considerations. Only later stabilization restores metal utility as exchange stores. Sequencing matters. Survival assets first, optionality assets later. Misordering preparations leads to catastrophic trade-offs. Desperation, exploitation. Community mapping identifies complementary skills resources before crises strike. Knowing who gardens, who repairs, who treats injuries matters. Communication planning, radios, runners, signals, maintains, coordination outages, security protocols emphasize discretion, deterrence, visibility, reduction, noise, discipline, shared norms, reduce internal conflict, preserve cohesion under scarcity, education transmission, ensures skills persist through disruptions, generations, children trained early contribute labor, resilience, competence, autonomy. Local markets re-emerge around necessities as security improves gradually. Those controlling food skills tools shape new economies, influence norms. Silver may re-enter exchange after trust institutions partially return. Relying on metals alone ignores overwhelming historical evidence. Bosnia, Venezuela, depression, Zimbabwe show identical survival hierarchies. Production beats possession, utility beats symbolism, capability beats price. The Amish Hedge integrates these realities into coherent strategy. It minimizes dependency on centralized fragile systems, prone failure. Preparation focuses on what humans always need regardless era. Calories, water, warmth, care, security, trust remain constants. This framework converts fear into structured, actionable priorities. Evidence drawn from lived collapses, not abstract theory. Ignoring evidence invites misallocation. Scarce resources during preparation windows, rational. Hedging weights assets by survival, impact not ideology. Silver ownership comforts psychology, but delays essential preparations, capability feeds, heals, shelters, defends, rebuilds, communities, post-collapse. History consistently rewards producers, collaborators, adapters over hoarders. The lesson remains unchanged across cultures, geographies, centuries. Collapse strips abstractions, revealing fundamentals brutally efficiently. Those prepared accordingly survive, adapt, rebuild, others perish. This concludes analytical consolidation without speculation, distraction, repetition. The objective prioritizes survival, probability, maximization rather than financial return optimization during collapse. Begin by auditing household vulnerabilities across food, water, energy, health security domains systematically. Calculate calorie requirements, identify local production potential, gardens, livestock community sources available nearby. Even urban apartments support containers gardens, herbs, microgreens, vegetables, protein, supplementation options exist. Focus first on calories, not luxury. Crops. Maximize yield per square meter efficiently. Learn seed-saving composting. Pest control, soil regeneration, climate. Specific planting methods locally. Water access, redundancy, critical rain catchment, filtration, storage, purification planning, reduces failure risk. Energy planning emphasizes cooking, heating, lighting, without grid fuel dependency during prolonged outages. Alcohol stoves, wood, gas, solar cookers outperform electric appliances. Collapse scenarios repeatedly documented. Medical readiness starts with first aid training, infection control, wound management protocols, basics, stock. Antibiotics responsibly understanding dosing contraindications, storage shelf life expiration rotation labeling, security hygiene investments prevent cascading illness, outbreaks preserving labor capacity, community resilience, long-term stability, soap, bleach, toothbrushes, feminine products, diapers trade disproportionately high value during scarcity periods. Tool selection favors manual, repairable, durable, multi-use items over specialized fragile electronic equipment. Acquire carpentry, plumbing, mechanical sewing, food preservation skills deliberately through practice, repetition, mentorship skills. Acquisition requires time. Start before crisis. Compress learning curve gradually now today. Community building demands intentional, consistent engagement long before emergencies through shared activities. Service, identify neighbors, abilities. Gardeners, nurses, mechanics, tradespeople, coordinators, leaders, communicators, organizers, helpers, allies. Establish communication channels, mutual aid, expectations, trust, boundaries, discreetly, early, clearly, respectfully, consistently. Avoid broadcasting supplies, wealth, preparedness, reduce targeting, probability theft, violence, extortion, risks, substantially. Security planning emphasizes deterrence concealment, situational awareness, cooperation over confrontation, escalation, aggression, bravado, distributed storage, reduces catastrophic loss from theft, fire seizure, events during collapse conditions. Barter strategy prioritizes consumables, divisible, standardized, trusted goods with immediate utility, universal demand. Silver lacks these attributes during early collapse phases consistently observed across cases globally. Hold minimal metals only after securing survival fundamentals first without sacrificing preparedness priorities. If this reframed preparedness thinking subscribe for future forensics collapse, economics survival strategy, comment helicopter. Emoji, if building your own. Amish Hedge, quietly, deliberately, seriously now. Share which skill? Land or community step, starting next week, month, quarter, year, future videos. Dissect starter budgets, urban plans, rural scaling, timelines, trade-offs, sequencing mistakes, evidence-based preparation beats, ideology, panic tribalism, every time across collapses, histories, outcomes, survival favors, producers, connectors, healers, builders, not hoarders, traders, leaders, teachers, organizers, farmers, money illusions, fade fundamentals, remain unchanged under stress, scarcity, danger, uncertainty, violence, collapse, calories, warmth, water care, trust, define survival hierarchy universally, historically, biologically, socially, repeatedly, allocate resources accordingly before markets signal urgency, loudly through headlines, crashes, shortages, mandates. Quiet preparation preserves dignity, autonomy, safety for families, children, elders, dependents, neighbors, communities. Loud preparation invites scrutiny, theft, regulation, confiscation, backlash, envy, hostility, targeting, suspicion, danger. The Amish Hedge emphasizes quiet resilience over performative prepping culture, media, aesthetics, consumption. Learn from those survived, not those selling. Fear products, courses, metals, newsletters, fantasies, evidence exists. Testimony, data, history, observation, repeated patterns across continents, cultures, eras, crises. Dismissal requires ignoring overwhelming proof from lived collapses. Bosnia, Venezuela, Argentina, Zimbabwe, depression. Acceptance enables rational preparation, improving odds significantly. Survival, adaptation, rebuilding. Recovery, continuity, prosperity. The Amish Hedge is not nostalgia, it is strategy grounded, evidence, reality, pragmatism. Adopt principles, adapt methods to context, resources, constraints, geography, income, culture, family, risk. Begin today, incrementally, quietly, consistently, deliberately, with discipline, patience, humility, learning, practice, repetition. Collapse rewards, preparation punishes complacency. The choice remains yours, still today, now, always.